Hello everyone! When you start playing Final Fantasy, you will start in one of the three cities, them being Gridania, Limsa Lominsa and Ul'dah. This is the third video in the series focusing on the stories of the starting cities, because each city offers a unique storyline you can only experience if you start there. I recommend watching at minimum the video on Ul'dah before watching this one, as it goes into greater detail on some vital events that happen in every city. In fact, as I play through the cities, I've learned there is a set script we do follow. So, while the story is different, you will go through certain plot points no matter what. These are in short: you start arriving to the city, you join the Adventurer Guild, you explore the city and attune to the Aetheryte Shard, you do meet one of the Scions out on the field, and have your first vision. Then you meet the Scions again, you have your second vision, and then there is a big fight, followed by some sort of a celebration, where we have the final vision, and then we fly away on an airship. But while these certain plot points are the same, the stories are vastly different. So let's look deeper into the Limsa Lominsa storyline by joining up with the Limsa lore, which shares equally genius names with her sister, Gridania and Ul'dah lore, because I am simply so creative. It starts as always on a... boat? It starts on a boat this time, but as always we're traveling with a peddler and a set of twins. On our way, the ship is attacked by a group of pirates, but we make it safely to the coastal city of Limsa Lominsa. There are only two classes that start in the city, those being the Marauder and the Arcanist. Limsa Lominsa is a marine city spread over many tiny islands connected with bridges. The city is ruled by the Admiral, whose name I cannot pronounce.
I am Melve Blufisfin, Admiral of Limsa Lominsa.
Yeah, that's it. The city has a long seafaring history and a vast shipping industry. The surrounding seas host a variety of pirates, and the city waters are protected by the Knights of the Barracuda, while the city proper and surrounding area is protected by the Yellow Jackets, who wear yellow jackets. They are the local law. In the city is also the grand company named Maelstrom, which combines forces of conscripted pirates, adventurers, and the knights in a formidable land and sea army. We arrive in Limsa Lominsa and immediately head over to the Adventuring Guild, which is run by Badron. Like in any other city, he sends us off to explore the city and go visit our class guild. In my experience of the starting cities, Limsa Lominsa has the most difficult city layout to navigate. Like the other cities, it is split into two areas separated by a loading screen, these being the upper and lower deck. We will this time start on the upper deck, because it's both where the Adventuring Guild is, and it's also just way easier to navigate than the lower one. So let's begin easy. On this deck, we have the Adventuring Guild, of course, where we are located now, and the Maelstrom Command. There is the Marauder Guild in the Coral Tower and the Culinary Guild in the Bismarck, and both Blacksmith and Armorer Guild at the bottom of the map. There is an elevator in the Adventuring Guild that takes us both downstairs and also up to the airship landing. We have also a few places to walk down to the lower deck, and one area to leave the city altogether. Sadly, we cannot just run away from our problems and avoid looking at the lower deck, so let's go there. On the lower deck, we have the elevator to the airship landing and the upper floor, along with the elevator to the Bulwark Hall, where we can find the Admiral. Here we find the Kookaboo Trainer, an Aetheryte Plaza, and of course the Market. The Arcanist Guild and the Fisherman Guild are both on this level. One thing that I find to be rather interesting is there is another class guild here. This is the Rogue Guild. This is a level 1 job, so you start from level 1 and go forward. But you cannot start as part of this guild. Instead, you have to start as one of the other jobs in the game, and then at level 10, you can go and join them. There are two ways out of the city, one by boat and one across a bridge, and there are several places to go up to the upper deck. After exploring the city, Badron sends us off on our first adventure. We are to go to Summerfort Farms. The farm is a large orange farm and was created by the Admiral shortly after she came into power, as one of her first decrees was to clean and settle the land around Limsa Lominsa. The farm is currently being run by a man named Stalewern. He used to be a pirate, and currently most of the staff on the farm are actually his former crew. I find it personally a little bit funny, because I used to grow up with the idea of like pirates suffered a lot from scurvy, and you fix scurvy by having oranges. So I find it kind of funny that the pirates want to grow oranges. They at least won't have to worry about scurvy from now on. We talked to Stalewind, and he's telling us there's been a string of abductions going on around Limsa Lominsa, and understandably people are a bit on edge about it. Well, as of late, there has been a fellow around the farm with these blue tattoos on his face. They're creeping about and seem to be spying on the farmhands, and these farmhands are now refusing to leave the main house because they do not want to be attacked or kidnapped. Off we go to investigate these peculiarly tattooed thugs. We investigate a place called Seasong Grotto, which is a small cavern with an ancient monolith within which has a sailor queen carved into it.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone.
As we explore the cavern, a Sherlayan scholar examining the etheric flow shows up. This woman is Yistola, though we don't get to know her much because we are almost immediately attacked by a creature, and then right after we pass out. There we learn about Heidelin and how we should bring back light of the crystal to the world. When we wake up, Yistola is examining the creature known as Gobu. She has found a knife sticking out of his back. This type of blade is most commonly used for cutting rope, but Yistola believes that pirates were the ones to stab the poor creature. This is just really mean. But nonetheless, we split up and we head back to Stalewind. He tells us some of his farmhands aren't working, so we are sent off to get the farmhands back to work. It takes us but a moment before we return to Stalewind, knowing the task is done. Except, notably, one of the farmhands named Severin was not found. Stalewind tells us Severin is responsible for a sack of oranges going missing, and he suspects Severin for dealing with some goblins behind his back. So we're sent off to find the man. And we do find Severin, who seems to be in a spot of bother, to be honest. He indeed tried to sell the oranges to some goblins, but the deal went wrong, leaving Severin able to escape, but his 3 henchmen were captured. So, meeting up with a goody-good adventurer, he asks us to go rescue his friends, which we of course do, along with getting the sack of oranges, which we return to the rightful buyers. After returning the oranges to the rightful buyers, we of course assist the people in the area, being the goody-good adventurers we are. Urkan needs us to get him something referred to as black loam. We ask a lady about it, who is told to know where it can be obtained. She refuses to get it herself, so off we go to fetch it. And yeah, this is poop. I am pretty sure this is poop. I think the main reason she didn't want to fetch it is that this, I am pretty sure, is poop. Either way, we do fetch it. We bring it back and wash our hands for like 3 years. And after that, we have to go back to assist with some stolen farm tools. We go around finding them, and we are then told that Severin, our orange-stealing friend, has been spotted talking to the thieving pirate, the one with the blue faces. So off we head to Stalewind to warn him that Severin might be up to something. Apparently, some days ago, Severin got a curious letter. Since then, he has been sneaking about, and now he has just completely vanished along with his fellow troublemakers. So we head off to follow them. We learn he was heading to Woad Whisper Canyon. This canyon is one of the places that were notably changed in the Calamity. Before it was a shallow valley, but now it's a deep gorge with some beautiful waterfalls. We head down there and find Severin and his friend. So finally, Severin does fess up to us and explain what happened. So, in the past, Severin used to be part of a gang called the Serpent Reavers, but wanting to get out of that life, he left them. But the Serpent Reavers apparently do not take well to deserters, so to save his own skin, after they tracked him down, Severin was told to sell his friends on the farm to them. But right now, he has changed his mind, though it's a tad late. Thankfully for him, we're here to save the day. We handle the pirates, a surprise golem that shows up because of our mysterious black-robe friend, and we meet up with Yistola, who comes to assist. With Severin and his friends saved, we talk to Yistola, and this is where we have our second vision. Like before, we have the vision of Yistola in the past, and again, I feel this is just does not translate very well to time past. So first we see her observing some pirates who are not part of any of the known Lominsa faction, a group most likely serving the beast tribes. Next we see the familiar moon hanging low in the sky shortly before the calamity, as Stola notices the sea has continued to rise around the city. And finally, we see her shortly before she meets us, watching what seems to be some sort of a festival. This is in fact where we see her in the original trailer. She spots some etheric disturbance and runs off to meet with us for the first time. After our vision, we soon part ways again, and we bring the lot of farmhands back to the Summerfort Farms. There, Severin decides that he will turn himself into the Yellow Jackets. Silvern asks us to tell Badron about Severin's tale, as he is respected by the Yellow Jackets, and perhaps he can convince them to lessen the severity of Severin's punishment. So off we go to do just that. We tell Badron the tale, and after this whole mess, he decides we should probably go somewhere else to adventure next time. So this time he sends us to assist Virkit in the Skylift. The Skylift is the solution to the changed landscape of the area after the calamity. Mitala Noska was flat area, but now it holds sheer cliffs which were given the name the Descent. To keep trade routes by land open to places like Aleport and Bronze Lake, there was a need to get down these steep cliffs. Not wanting to sprout wings or simply hurl their wares off the cliffside, the Skylift was born. We meet up with Virkrit, who tells us a wagon driver who is shipping million corn, which is a seedling of corn bred to grow in the rockies of terrains, making it a very versatile crop. Well, this driver says he was met by some nightmarish creature from the midst of his own cargo, so he threw the stuff over the cliff before fleeing back to Skylift. So off we're sent to find the cargo, which we do, and get it to their proper owner in Swift Perch. As we drop off the supplies, we speak to a Yellow Jacket located in Swift Perch, who's wondering why the lighthouse is not working as it should. The beam is far too dim, so he asks us to go over there and check out what's going on. We head over there and are told by the lighthouse people that the furnace is actually faulty, and that's why the light is so dim. So, to make the lighthouse work, there are these things called fire bombs, who are kept in the furnace, except the last one actually managed to damage it and then ran away. So as a temporary fix, we have to go find this runaway bomb and kill it, and from it obtain its claw. This will allow the furnace to work for a short time while we get somebody to repair it. So we do that, and then are sent to the Armorer's Guild to request a repair, which they promise will happen very soon. Though they do know that the furnace was repaired just recently, which seems rather odd that it keeps on breaking. Well, that is no longer our business, and the Forest Master actually has a job for us. We are to deliver a letter to the Morbay Dry Docks. This is a large shipping yard that builds Limsa Lominsa ships. The company Naldik and Vimelli, who handle the shipbuilding for the Maelstrom and the city, are located here. So for their safety and because how important they are, the Maelstrom do stay there to keep watch. We run over there delivering the letter to a man named Athbrim, who is the head shipwright. The current ship he's building is the new Maelstrom warship called Victory, and it is huge. But Athbrim is having some issues because one of his crew is missing. This guy was meant to bring a delivery, but he has yet to show up. He goes searching about and ends up being let down to the Salt Strand, where a recent accident has perhaps washed up some people and cargo there. We do indeed find the missing crewman there and help him gather up the cargo before heading back to the dry dock. We explain the incident of the storm to Athbrim, but he does not believe it to be a natural causes. Instead, he believes the creatures known as Shahagi, which are a nearby beast tribe, caused it. But for now, Athbrim asks us to talk to Gimtoda, who is trying to learn more about this suspicious individual who recently made camp in the area. Gimtoda believes these to be pirates who are planning to sabotage the Victory, so we need to infiltrate the pirates and find out what they're up to. We infiltrate the pirates and learn they're indeed up to something. They are talking about kidnapping somebody. We aren't sure who they're talking about, but we hurry to Grimtoda to tell him about the plan, and he increases the patrols in the area. We do continue assisting Grimtoda, who is very afraid that the pirates are planning to attack the shipyard and sabotage the ship. We are sent around the camp to talk to the guards and ask them if they spotted anything suspicious. As we investigate further, we learn the pirates are here to attack the dry dock, as in right this moment they are attacking the dry dock, and we should probably do something about it. So we take part in defending it, managing to thankfully stop the pirates and capture the leader, who turns out to be no other but Athper's father. The man never agreed with his son's chosen profession, it seems. He was displeased that his son would help the Maelstrom when he himself is a pirate. While the father and son talk their things out, Kim Tota talks to us. They have found a missive in the father's pocket, but it's all written in code. But Kim Tota has an idea. Badron, the leader of the local adventuring guild, is actually known for being pretty good at decoding these kind of messages. So off we go to him to show him the message and ask for a translation. Badron is able to decode the message, and he talks both about the attack on the shipyard, but also on the small town of Swiftport. Now he worries that the Serpent Reaver, which we know as the blue-faced pirates, plan to use their full force on the small settlement. So he sends us to Commodore Rainer, who is the head of the guard. As we speak to him, we learn the attack is already happening. So off we go to Swiftport to save the day. This takes us into our final main scenario, and just like in Ul'dah and Gridania, we first fight with the guards, and then we are left behind while they go deal with other things. As we stand there alone, our black-robed figure shows up and summons up a demon. Thankfully this time Yustola comes over and helps us both take down the demon, and the black-robed figure, who leaves behind this peculiar purple crystal which shatters as we approach. Heading back to Limsa Lominsa, we meet up with the Admiral, who invites us to a banquet to honor us for our bravery. We of course accept, and like during the festival in Gridania and Banquet in Ul'dah, we have our final vision in this part, again about the leaders during the Battle of Cardano, which will definitely require its own video someday. We wake up at the inn and are quickly sent to talk to the Admiral, who, like the other leaders, asks us to deliver some letters to the other leaders. And that is how we end up leaving Limsa Lominsa via airship, uniting with the collective story. And there, finally, we have finished the story of Limsa Lominsa, and with that, all the origin stories. From here on out, the story becomes the same for everyone, making the creation of these videos way simpler. In the next video, I will explain the basic of ether, and in the video after, I will explore the origin of the science of the Seven Dawn. To make sure you don't miss out on those episodes, I highly recommend subscribing and pressing the notification bell so you will be notified when the videos come out. If there is anything you would like added to my future video list, please let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.